special event today. So welcome to campus and specifically to our new Osage Hotel and Casino Student Union. Hope you can tell with all the orange where you are. To celebrate the public launch of College Park, a new public 4-year university experience from OSU-Tulsa and Tulsa Community College. College Park was created in response to our community's request for a place that brings 4 years of high quality public higher education to one location in downtown Tulsa. However, we can't talk about place without first acknowledging where we are standing. The land on which OSU-Tulsa sits is the reservation lands of the Cherokee, Osage, and Muskogee Creek Nations and the ancestral lands of the Osage and Wichita peoples. This land is in the Greenwood District, home of Black Wall Street. And 100 years ago, next month, this land was the site of one of the worst incidents of racial violence in this nation's history. The 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre destroyed more than 35 blocks of Black-owned property and ended hundreds of lives. Let's take a brief moment to silently acknowledge and thank those who have come before us on this land for their courage, resilience, and sacrifice. Thank you. The journey to College Park began more than a year ago when OSU and TCC launched Linked Degree with around 20 transfer maps at the time. Maps that show students the full path from their first day at TCC through graduation with an OSU degree. The transfer maps include information about services available, guidance for each year of college, and career information. When we launched Linked Degree, we knew that we wanted to take the concept even further. Once we had a strong academic plan that linked our two institutions, we now have more than 80 transfer maps between TCC and OSU. We built upon it to create the full experience of College Park. This is the difference between having a map to show how to reach a destination and having a navigator in the front seat with you, making sure you don't take the wrong turn. We want more Tulsans to reach that destination of a bachelor's degree. And in a rapidly changing world, higher education needs to innovate to meet the demands of our economy and society. College Park is the result of innovation, combining the strengths of two institutions dedicated to Tulsa to create a program that we believe will be a national model for other cities looking for new ways to approach higher education. None of this innovation would have been possible without the hard work of Dr. Susan Johnson. She's sitting in the toward Subway. She's our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, and also I'd like to say thanks to her team. And of course, effective collaboration requires a good partner. In fact, a great partner. We couldn't ask for a better partner than Tulsa Community College. I'd now like to invite Dr. Lee Goodson, President and CEO of TCC, to share her thoughts. Lee?
Well, thank you, Dr. Fry. I am thrilled to join my friend and colleague, Dr. Pamela Fry, as we publicly announce College Park today. As Tulsa's community college, we stand with Dr. Fry and her acknowledgement of place. One of TCC's core values is that we foster a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion that welcomes and respects everyone for who they are and who they will become. We wouldn't be here today without the support of Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education, Regent Jody Parker and Regent Jay Helm and Chancellor Glenn Johnson. I would also like to thank the TCC Regents, led by Chairman Wes Mitchell, for their support. Both Regent Mitchell and Regent Sam Combs will say a few words today. Other Regents attending today, Paul Cornell, who's there in the back, and the entire Board of Regents for Tulsa Community College are so excited about this endeavor with Oklahoma State University. TCC was invited by OSU to enter into this level of partnership with the understanding that there is not a full 4-year public higher education option in Tulsa, especially a full 4-year in downtown Tulsa. When they approached us, it was an answer to what Tulsa had been talking about for some time. How could we turn that tremendous opportunity down? We could not. This expanded partnership is great for students, great for Tulsa, and great for our employers. College Park is a direct response to calls for an affordable, public, 4-year higher education option. It combines TCC's nationally recognized experience in the first 2 years of higher education and OSU-Tulsa's role as a public, metropolitan, urban-serving research university. OSU-Tulsa and TCC have a long-standing partnership to support Tulsa students. Of all undergraduate students at OSU-Tulsa, 72% are TCC transfer students. When you look at OSU as a whole, 24% of OSU graduates in 2019 attended TCC at some point in their college journey. We believe in providing an opportunity for everyone to learn by creating a safe and supportive learning and working environment leading to success. As a public community college, we are an open enrollment institution, and TCC provides access to anyone who wants to attend college. We know from our pathways work that it's not just about coming to college, it's also about getting through college. College Park provides a path to bachelor's degrees with a series of classes mapped for the first 2 years and beyond. For a number of students, including first-generation college students, this is helpful to know each semester what they will take and what comes next. College Park is a cohort or group learning experience. They will take the same classes on the same schedule and build a support network with their peers, which is a proven model for success in the classroom. These students start orientation together, they graduate together. They develop a close community to support each other. And yes, it can also build accountability. Like having faculty support, having peer support is a strong element of student success. As I said, this is about knowing the student, being imaginative, and building what our city needs, college graduates. College Park is a cool, amazing opportunity, capitalizing on investments already made and leveraging the assets that already exist. I want to thank our academic team headed by Dr. Angela Sividon. She's here, and she has her team here too. Dr. Sividon is our Chief Academic Officer and Senior Vice President, as well as Dr. Pamela Fry and her team at OSU-Tulsa for working with us so we can welcome our first students in the fall. Dr. Fry, would you like to join me up here? Put our masks back on, not upside down. Ready? Okay.
I have one more thing to unveil today. Although I don't have a banner, it's still very important. College Park, as Dr. Goodson and I have mentioned, is about increasing access to bachelor's degrees for Tulsans and putting supports in place to make sure they graduate. One major barrier to completing college for many students is cost. It is our goal at OSU-Tulsa to offset as much as possible to the cost of the junior and senior year. And to that end, I'm pleased to announce that OSU-Tulsa has received commitments for $500,000 to help fund scholarships for College Park students. Hey. Now, we won't stop there. We will continue this College Park Scholarship campaign and are so thrilled and grateful for the generous donors and supporters who believe in this partnership and in this initiative. And I would particularly like to thank the OSU-Tulsa Board of Trustees who are so incredibly supportive of this effort. Now I'll return it. Dr. Goodson.
All right. To help us celebrate College Park, Dr. Fry and I welcome leaders from our community, as well as business and industry. So today you will hear, and they'll come up after each other, so I'm not going to hop up here and introduce each one individually. First, we'll hear from Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum, then State Regent Jody Parker. We're very excited to hear from him. TCC Regent Chair Wes Mitchell, OSU Interim Provost Dr. Jeanette Mendez. I've already seen her today. There she is. Dr. Ken Eastman, very exciting, Dean of the OSU Spears School of Business. And then finally, TCC Regent and OSU-Tulsa Business and Community Advisory Council, Sam Combs. And so we're very excited. We actually have somebody that's a member of both of our advisory and governing boards. And so we'll be very excited to hear from him, and then we'll wrap it up. So Mayor Bynum, will you get us started?
Thank you very much. I think this is going to be viewed in the long run as a real turning point in the history of our city. You know, we're in this really unique moment in Tulsa right now, where you see people all across our city focused on building a world-class city for the next generation. A lot of cities that you see around the world at any given point are just kind of coasting on the vision of those who came before. But right now, this generation of Tulsans is defining what we want this city to be for the future. And a couple years ago at the city of Tulsa, we recognized that one of the key ingredients to having a world-class city is that you have to be a city of opportunity for everyone. And a key of that we looked at was increasing per capita income in your city. You want to be building wealth in a city. You want to be viewed as a city where people can come and find opportunity and pursue a better life. And so we brought together a group of data analysts and asked them, in Tulsa, what has the highest correlation to higher per capita income? Because it varies city by city. There's lots of national studies on this. But in our city, what indicates an area that you would see higher per capita income? And they ran through reams of census data. And what they came back with was those areas that have a higher percentage of advanced degree earners have higher per capita income. When I tell you that, that's not surprising. And yet for us, it was so important because it elevated for us the need we have in Tulsa to not just talk about high school graduation rates. That's important, but that can't be the end of the discussion. That has to be a step on the way towards getting a bachelor's degree and then going on and getting continued education and an advanced degree. That's why today is so important. You know, for years in Tulsa, we've had a great story to tell about community investment, about everybody being on the same page, trying to build a world-class city, about our great philanthropic community, about big public votes to build things that would make this the kind of place that businesses and employers want to move to. And we have great private universities. But a big challenge for us has been, as was just pointed out, telling that story about what we could offer when it comes to 4-year degrees from a public institution. And yet, at the same time, we had in Tulsa Community College, a school that is known around the United States for its Tulsa Achieves program. When I get together with mayors, back when we used to get together, Tulsa Achieves comes up routinely. You'd be shocked the number of cities around the country that are that are aspiring to rip that program off. And at the same time, we also knew that we had a world-class university right here in Oklahoma State University in our community with one of the most beautiful campuses you'll find for any university anywhere in America, right here in Tulsa. And in retrospect, it's shocking that we didn't get to today sooner because it just makes so much sense. And it's why I'm so thankful as a mayor, because what we're announcing today is that moving forward, if you want to get a bachelor's degree in Tulsa, you can get it here for the price of a 2-year degree. That's remarkable. And if you get some of that scholarship money, even less. That's a remarkable marketing offering that we now have when we're meeting with companies who are thinking about bringing their employees here. And it's a remarkable offering that we can give to Tulsa families who want their kids, and I say this as a father of a 14-year, 11-year-old, who want their kids to get a great education, and it'd be great if they got it right here in Tulsa. And now we have a clear story to tell on that front. From a world-class institution like TCC through a world-class institution like Oklahoma State University. And we're going to do that right here in the Greenwood district. It's amazing. That is a tremendous thing for us to be able to offer moving forward. And not only is that going to be offered, but these are going to be degrees that are specifically tailored to the needs of industry here. So sorry for the basket weaving enthusiasts. There probably won't be any of those degrees offered here. None of those classes offered. What you will have the chance to get a degree in here is something that companies in Tulsa are looking to hire for. And again, what an advantage that gives to young Tulsans who would go through this program. Not just that you get 2 world-class universities, not just the fact that you can participate in Tulsa Achieves, but you know that you're on a degree track that makes you immediately marketable right here in our community, thanks to the partnership with industry in Tulsa. So I'm just incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly grateful for the leadership at Tulsa Community College and at OSU-Tulsa, for the great presidents that we have of those institutions here in Tulsa. I feel really lucky to get to be the mayor while they're here making this amazing stuff happen. And I also want to say how grateful I am for the regents of those universities. And it is a great pleasure for me and a great honor to get to introduce you to one of those, a great friend of mine, somebody who does an awful lot for this community, Jody Parker.
Thank you, Mayor Bynum. I appreciate that introduction. About 4 years ago, the state regents formed the task force on the future of higher education in Oklahoma. And 3 years ago, we issued a report. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with reports that end up gathering dust on a shelf somewhere. And I'm pleased to say that's not been the case with this report. We had 55 Oklahomans contribute nearly 10 months of their time putting together this series of recommendations. And I just thought I'd read them all to you. Oh, no, excuse me. No, maybe not. But I want to pick out one that is in this report. I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, the state regents should provide leadership and resources to accelerate the development and expansion of joint degree programs and statewide seamless transfer articulation agreements between and among institutions. What we have here today is the fulfillment of that goal. And I just want to say credit for the creation of College Park goes to very, very many people, but in particular to President Fry and President Goodson. Their leadership for their colleagues, as well as the members of the Tulsa Transfer Project, was invaluable. Without their dedication, drive, and creativity, we wouldn't be here today to celebrate the creation of College Park. It's the Regents' hope, it's the university's hope, it's the college's hope, and it's the city of Tulsa's hope that This model will serve to increase the number of college graduates in Tulsa whose skills are in demand by business and industry in Tulsa. Once again, let me say thank you on behalf of the state regents to all who have made College Park a reality. Thank you very much. I would now like to introduce Wes Mitchell, Chairman of TCC.
Thank you very much, Jody. The Latin scholars would tell us that the truth is mere media in the middle. What else do you find in the middle? You find collaboration. When you find collaboration, you find success. So thank you all for working together. I think we are a world-class city in Tulsa led by the mayor in collaboration. You see it all over town. With College Park, we can serve the student and the community, and at the same time, address the issue of equity degree completion. A critical element of this collaboration is College Park. It offers every person access to a college education through TCC, a college that has an open access policy for anyone at any point in their life. Specifically, students can earn an Associate of Science Business Administration through TCC, then transfer into one of multiple businesses bachelor's degree offered through the Spears School of Business at OSU. College Park aligns education with real business needs. Oklahoma Works lists accountants and auditors, management analysts, and financial analysts on its list of the 2020-2022 critical occupations. Meeting the workforce demand is only part of College Park. It is also an intentional effort to support and guide our students of color, our Hispanic, Native American, African American, Asian, Pacific Islanders, and Asian Americans in achieving equitable success outcomes. National research shows African Americans and Hispanic students fall below their white and Asian peers in the categories of earning an associate's degree, transferring to a 4-year, and completing a bachelor's degree. We also know early data indicates the pandemic is widening these equity gaps. Closing those equity gaps takes intentional focus and is in part of the effort we are putting into College Park to improve education outcomes for all students. And thank you. And with that, I would like to bring up OSU Interim Provost.
Thank you. Oklahoma State University is proud to have such deep student ties to Tulsa Community College in Stillwater and in Tulsa, as demonstrated by the numbers that President Goodson shared. College Park is a reflection of that relationship and OSU's commitment to Tulsa. At OSU, we believe in the power of a bachelor's degree to change lives. As a first-generation college student myself, I speak firsthand about the impact college education has had on my life. On average, a bachelor's degree holder will earn over $1 million more in their lifetime than a high school graduate. A bachelor's degree also decreases risk of unemployment and increases opportunities for job advancement. For many careers, a bachelor's degree is now a requirement, especially in high demand fields like science and business. College Park will help more Tulsans than ever before achieve those benefits. From the moment they step foot into their first TCC class on the OSU-Tulsa campus, they will be surrounded by the expectation and the encouragement to persist until they graduate with their OSU bachelor's degree. To me, this exemplifies OSU's commitment to our land grant mission. College Park provides both opportunity and access, as well as a central component of a structured design to help students see the value of their education and to help them succeed. The last time I checked, there were more OSU graduates in the Tulsa area than any other city in the world. College Park will make sure that remains the case by producing more OSU graduates in Tulsa and keeping them in Tulsa. I look forward to OSU's continued partnership with TCC and to the College Park success. And with that, I would like to introduce Dean Eastman, Dean of the Spears School of Business.
Thank you, Dr. Mendez. President Goodson called me exciting. Wow, it's never happened in my life before. It's not deserved either. I just want to say that, but I appreciate the effort. The Spears School of Business, we emphasize the importance of innovation and collaboration and personal connections for career success. When I hear President Fry and President Goodson talk about College Park, I hear those values. And I applaud them for their vision and innovation for this endeavor. It's much needed, and I think it'll be a great contribution, not just to the city of Tulsa, but to the state. Business is a natural fit for the initial cohort of College Park students. We have a long history here in Tulsa, dating back to the old UCAT days. I first taught here, I think, in '91, so my hair was dark back then. So we have a long commitment to Tulsa and a long relationship, and we're glad to be a part of this. Additionally, Spears Business is already the top transfer destination for TCC's Associate of Science and Business Administration graduates. College Park will build on the academic excellence fostering the tight-knit community where we know students thrive. In the Spears School of Business, we call this the power of personals. With the cohort model, our faculty will have opportunities to connect with students even before they take an OSU class, which is very exciting. And Tulsa will benefit with more highly prepared graduates entering the workforce who will immediately make a difference in the businesses in which they work. Additionally, as a land-grant institution, as been mentioned, our obligation is to create opportunities for those who have been marginalized and underserved. And we think this opportunity will greatly add that part of our mission. We are thrilled to welcome even more students in the Spears Business family and support OSU-Tulsa and TCC in this innovative approach to higher education. And we're excited to see what develops. And it is my pleasure now to introduce to you TCC Regent, OSU-Tulsa Business and Community Advisory Council member, Mr. Sam Combs.
Thank you, Dr. Eastman. And good morning. I too am incredibly grateful and excited to stand here before you representing, in effect, both institutions. As a TCC Regent and as an active member of the OSU-Tulsa Business and Community Advisory Council. And to be here today for this historic announcement in the historic Greenwood edition and home of the Black Wall Street. Two roles, yet the same mission: to develop a skilled workforce by understanding the needs of the employers in Tulsa and to produce those high quality students that meet those needs. As a businessman and former executive of a public company, I think I'm kind of uniquely positioned to have a perspective about what companies need on one hand, and having led a workforce in the thousands, what companies look for when they want to locate their business. This is a proud day for me to be associated with these two institutions as they take this important and critical step of finding a solution that will help bring affordable and quality education to more students, and the option for Tulsa that's led by these leaders who found a new way of thinking and to consider a new way of operating. It takes vision to reimagine how things work and to see how things could work. And College Park has the benefit of using existing buildings and infrastructure, which makes the most of our resources, our current resources that we've already made an investment in. Without costly and sometimes timely construction, Mr. Mayor, We can immediately boost Tulsa's economic vitality as we respond to our community's needs while saving and being mindful of our taxpayers' dollars. TCC, or Tulsa Community College, has as one of its strategic pillars that says, you belong here. You belong here. OSU-Tulsa has a motto that says, you can get there from here. You can get there from here. You belong here, you can get there. Where's there? Well, that's what dreams are made of. Dr. Goodson, Dr. Fry, I want to thank you for your leadership and for this innovative approach in bringing these two institutions together to solve one of our most pressing needs and problems. And that is to provide more bachelor degrees for our community, but also for our state. Dr. Goodson.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Well, before we close today, before I kind of say my last few words, I do want to introduce our Student Government Association rep that's here today representing students. And she didn't expect this, so I won't ask her to come up. But Gabby Gibson-Farringer is here today. And I just want to say we're here for the students, right? And so, and they're represented here today. And so I wanted to mention her. Gabby, thanks for being here today. Representing your fellow students, and we're just really excited to see more TCC students on the OSU-Tulsa campus in the fall. It's going to be very exciting. As these community leaders have outlined, College Park is about moving our community forward and increasing the number of bachelor's degrees. Dr. Fry, I want to thank you for being here today and to thank these community leaders for supporting public education in Tulsa. We couldn't have done this without each other. It's been, it has been and continues to be a really incredible partnership that we enjoy. College Park applications open Monday, May 3rd for fall of 2021. We're very excited about that. Visit collegeparktulsa.com for information and how to apply. Thank you to everybody for joining us today, and make sure to stop by the table on your way out to pick up the first College Park t-shirts available.
That's gotta be, you've been there, right?